Hey everyone, welcome back to Jamieson Repair Shop. Well, finally getting back on this 65 convertible. So, as you can see though, before we get started on this project, the seat pedestal is where I'm going after now. I have to do the floor pan and the seat pedestal. So, first of all, look at it. Look at this mess. This is what happens to your project when you put it on the back burner. It becomes the staging area for everything that doesn't belong to that project. There's like a carburetor's there, there's tools, there's cardboard boxes, what a mess. So anyway, first thing before I tackle this car again, cleaning the top off. All right, that looks a lot better, all cleaned off. So inside here, what we're going to be doing on this video is I just set it in place to see how it's looking. That's the seat pedestal, obviously, that I did. And here's the, oh, get out of there. I don't want to rip my template. This is the floor that goes under the driver's side seat pedestal right here. And I've started that already. So that's what we'll get on. We'll finish up that floor. I'll pull that back out. Got some flanges to straighten and repair. But yeah, she's looking pretty good. Anybody that hasn't been following my channel, I replaced all that right back to under the seat pedestal. And I noticed in there's a little more work to be done around that drain hole. Did the torque box on that side, that's all brand new. Same over here. Not all brand new over here. I left that original metal because it wasn't nearly as bad. The floor pan I built and replaced. And now we're back to here. I also did under that pile of steel was the torque box and out of the whole corner. Over there it's been done. And over here it's not nearly as bad, but I'm still going to pull the top off the torque box when the time comes. But the driver's side in this car wasn't as bad as the passenger side. So it still actually has some of the arch and everything with it. So that's not bad. I can work with that. All right. So let's get on finishing that piece right there. Okay, back on the floor panel, or the floor panel that goes underneath the seat pedestal on the driver's side. So I've got my template here, the same one I used for the passenger side. And I've already started this, as I explained earlier. So what I've done, I did pre-stretch the metal on the end of this wheel. I don't know if you can see that very well or not, but these areas where I've been going to do the work, this one is still visible. I pre-stretched it so it brought it up in the direction like where I want to raise the metal. In this case it's actually lowering it, but it's still raising the metal off the panel. Using my push pins, I have holes drilled in where the actual seat bolt studs go through. So I need this to be accurate to those seat studs and the frame underneath. So those will be accurate to it. But when we get it in the car to place it, I'll have drilled these out and I'll put bolts down through the frame rail that's available. The one side, this side here, doesn't have a frame rail. This side has the frame rail. So what we're looking at right now is the top side, which is the side where the seat pedestal will go over top of, and this is where the seat pedestal goes down through and into the frame rail. The frame rail will be right around here. So this is the tunnel side of the transmission tunnel side, and I marked it on the prints. That's pretty much it. I've marked off all the spots on this side. Now, what I have to do is flip it over and put these lines in on the bottom, on the underside. At least this line in particular, because I have to go through on the bead roller. I have to run a pass through here, and I'm not trying to put a step in it or anything. All I'm going to do is crease it. So when I crease it from the bottom, it makes an angle move like so, like from flat to like that. and I need that to go down. And then on this side, I'll crease it the opposite way, which will be from the upward side, which I might do first, because I have it already marked. And that'll do this way. So that'll line these two up, so we'll get that step down in that area. It's not going to be 100% perfect the way it was factory. It's all hidden, but I like to have it as close as I can get it. All right, so let me get this done, and we'll get it on the bead roller, and we'll run a pass through there. We'll do a pass through there, and then we also have to do this piece right here. And this is actually a step, so I'll use a stepper die for this piece. And that'll finish up that pattern, other than putting the curl on, or that panel, putting a curl on for the transmission tunnel. And I'll use the old seat pedestal for that. All right, sounds good. How I get the, oh yeah, I have a measurements. I just want to explain this too. I think I explained all this in the first, when I did the first panel. But for anybody just catching up, I took one of the fixed reference points, which are the seat pedestal holes and the lines, and I marked them to the pinch weld of the inner and outer structure where they're pinched together on, which would be by the rocker panels. So 20.5 inches from the frame rail hole line out to the pinch weld. So that'll always be the same. So that's my measurement to know where this sits in the car. And from there, we go over here, and I can do with a piece of fabric tape or tape, I can go up and measure it. But I can do it on the, I found doing it on the seat pedestal worked well. All right, let's get at her. Okay, you saw what I did there. I put these just etch, but not etch mark, but these impressions in just to give it some, they're just like bend marks, fold marks. And then it came flat and then went down, and now down this way, and it goes flat again. So that's what I was after. I'll straighten it up a little bit. This one might need a little bit of, like over here, some hammer and dolly, even a chisel, just to freshen it up some. Again, this is all hidden. It's not a big deal. But now, I have to put this in. So this will be a step, this piece here. So let me get set up for that. All right, I've got this set up to do this other seat pedestal step down. So all I'm doing is doing a step. I got the leg of the tripod right where my dead man switch needs to be. That's always nice. Perfect. Just give me a second, guys. Alrighty, let's see. I'm on fairly low speed. I've got this set up with 2 step dies. A step die down the bottom, bottom of the top. Same on the top, rather. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be following the imprint as it comes through on this inside line. Now I can follow the outside line, but I'm going to have to pick one and stick with it. So I'm going to do the one I can see easily. I'm down 3 turns from touch, so let's see what happens. Everything seems to be on. Now I'm going to be coming around and then spinning everything out this way. That's why I had to move you guys. It would have been right in the way. My homemade Denbad switch, I need a new one. Or just fix this one, make it work right. All right, here we go. Now start turning. There we go. Up over that lip. Nudging, just nudge slowly, go slow with it. You don't need to go crazy fast. Now, you'll notice I stopped short here. So I'm gonna grab I think I have an old piece of steel, so just give me a second. I'm gonna come right back, hold on. I'm just gonna check the height of what I got there now, see if it's okay. I might have to do another pass. All right, back again. There's the old one. This is why you save the old pieces, so you have reference. So this is the old one. That's the height of it. I think we're pretty darn close to it. I get around here. I'm gonna call it there on that, rather than monkey around with it too much. So now, I'll show you what I was talking about. Set this down, save your old pieces till you're sure you're done with them. They come in handy. Right here, you can see this line. So while I couldn't do it in the pass that I was just on, let me get this out of here. And there's the same on both sides. Actually, I think this goes out. I'm going to continue on with that because I'm going to check my pattern. But this piece right here, it needs to put a crease in just to bring it up. So if I brought my steppers all the way out, it would have made a step all the way along there. And I don't want a step. I want this to gradual off to this. And that's where we're at right now. So, but I have to check this one too. I think this one came right around, not up. But I'll take a quick look. Yes. So now I have to bring, this one did come all the way around and over and fades out over here. So now I'm going to have to continue on with that. So let's do that right now. I had another glove here somewhere, right there. Wear gloves when you're working on sheet metal, guys, best you can. I know it's not always that easy. So this one's going to come around this way, and then I have to go around the corner that way. So you won't be in the way, you'll be good. As long as my arms aren't in your way. All right. And it fades off as it comes up. So I'm going to back off the depth, and that's it. And that's how it went. According to the old one. There she is. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So now, that's pretty much done. I mean, it has to be, oh, I gotta do that little groove that's there. So let me get that done, and then I'll put a curl on it for the tunnel, and we'll be installing it in the car. All right, rather than set up the bead roller again for that little mark, I'm going to use a dull chisel to bring that line in. And in my garage, no problem finding a dull chisel, harder to find a sharp chisel. So what I have on my workbench, I've got this piece of leather that I've salvaged off of something. The dandy piece, just a scrap of leather. It's nice and heavy. I use it to, for a cushion underneath. Find a hammer. There we are. Actually, what I like about doing when you're doing this is the heavier hammer you can get that's easy to manage. So I got this nice little stubby here I work well with. Dull chisel, cold chisel. So just line it up on there. You don't have to go crazy with this. Just tap it down, and the leather will give a place to recess into. And you'll see this starting to straighten out some. And you can do the whole thing. You can refreshen up all the lines with this. Just use a dull chisel, not a sharp one. Okay. Go slow. Yeah, it's starting to pop down now. Down there. A little bit more yet. I want that to pop down. Might have to take a good whack on it. There we go. Now you heard that. See how that popped down and stayed there? There. There. Now I'll flip it over and I'll freshen that line up. This could take a couple of sessions. there. A couple of the lines I'm not perfectly happy with is where I came off the end here. This is loud, so you might want to put hearing protection on if you're doing a lot of it. See if I can freshen the other side of that one up a little bit better. I'm going to put that back down. That should be pretty decent. There it goes. This line didn't come the way I wanted it to perfectly. But that's good. That's good enough for this floor pan, that's for sure. Like I say, this is all hidden. The bottom's not. This part of the bottom, this is hidden. This is open. So I kind of wanted this to look as close to original as you can. This is for function because it has to fit inside the frame rail. I see a couple spots here I can touch up too. Let's see, where did I see that? Right there. Just to give it that bend again. It'll help relax it some. Yeah. Alright guys, here we are. Starting to fit this baby in. I remembered when I put that floor pan in over here, I left this side not completely spot welded because I knew I'd have to fit something underneath. And once you weld it, you can't get it into the pinch weld because it comes in right about here. Yeah, wherever that is. I think that's straight down. So it goes in underneath this structure right about to about here. And it's sitting in square because you can see the holes are lined. I'm going to put bolts in those and suck them down, but I have to go get a couple 1/2-inch bolts. Once I do that, then I can go underneath and mark off the frame rail, mark off how much I have to take off there to get it down so I can weld it in. I'm not going to worry about the tunnel part just yet. That can curl around. I can bend that around as I need it. I wanted to know where I need to cut it here because I want to give as much new metal as I can. So I don't really want to cut any new metal away, like this metal, but I'd cut the old stuff away. And then I just took I had to clean this up anyway, so I just went underneath with or come down through the top with my spot weld breaker, and I chop that out. But this has to be all cleaned up underneath and rust treated and primed before I can put this piece in. And the same with underneath the frame rail. I need to have that all primed underneath the frame rail, and I also need to put all the spot weld or plug weld holes in that I'll do around there, because I want to do it from the top, not the bottom. And the rest is just stitch welding all the way along. Alright, so I have to get a couple of bolts. I have them somewhere, but yeah, I'm sure I'll find them after. Alright guys, off we go to the store, get some bolts. Unless I find my other ones first. I went and picked up a couple of 1/2-inch bolts at the hardware store. Just, you know, grade 5s. There's no strain on this. Now it is aligned perfectly with the frame rail. That's what I was after. Let's get out here a little bit. So the bead rolling's done. Now it's fitting and welding and all that kind of jazz. But I was looking at the footage when I went inside, and I'm at over 20 minutes now on this video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this in another part. I hate getting the videos so long; people just get tired of watching them. Anyway, let's end it here, and in the next video we'll put this in, and hopefully it goes fairly quick. But there's a lot of fitting going on here. Plus, I do need to do some work underneath here, so that'll give me a chance to get all that done properly instead of rushing through it. You don't want to rush the rust treatment stuff. You want to make sure it's done right. And I want to get a video out on this car. So I mean, it's kind of like, well, what do I do? Do an hour-long video at the end of the week, for the end of the week rather, or 20-minute one midweek. So I'm going to do the 20-minute one midweek. All right, guys, have a great week, rest of the week, and hopefully I'll have this in by the weekend. But when my next video after will definitely be this. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.